Welcome to your Weld County School District 6 Board of Education meeting. It's Monday, August 10th, 2015. This meeting will now come to order. Will you join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Ms. Maria.
Mr. DeWitt?
Present.
Mr. Haefele?
Present.
Mr. Hall?
Present.
Mr. Lydiak?
I'm sorry, Mr. Lydiak isn't with us this evening.
Dr. Richard?
Present.
Mr. Richardson?
Present.
Mrs. Solis?
Present.
6 members are present.
Thank you. This item is the Board of Education President announcements, and among other things, I want to remind students who may be watching or listening that it might be time to re-engage with your books. Start some reading, because you're invited to come to school again on the 19th. So we're looking forward to seeing you in place. I also want to welcome new and returning School District 6 employees to the school year. We've got the right people in place, and we've got a lot of work to do, and we're excited to see that work get started. I want to mention, although he's not present in the room, I wanted to mention another thanks to Mr. Wayne Eads for his service as interim superintendent, and a warm welcome, please, to Dr. Pilch, who's in position as our superintendent at the table. And we welcome you for this first meeting, and one of many. I think it's fitting that we permit our new superintendent to have a couple of comments, if you have a few to bring about, catch up on some of the things that are on your mind.
Thank you, President DeWitt. It's my honor to be here and to serve you as Superintendent of Schools for District 6. First, I'd like to thank you, President DeWitt, and the Board of Education members, Vice President Richardson, for all of your support in this transition as my husband and I have begun the move to District 6. We are really enjoying the community, the staff, and thank you for that. And I want to thank the community and the staff, the administrators who have all supported me in the transition, and maybe most importantly, Bernie Barea, my assistant, who has made every day easier for me since I've been here. So thank you to all of you. We welcome back our principals and our assistant principals on July 8th, and they have been hard at work preparing for school to open, learning and getting ready for their teachers, who will all be here on Thursday. We started with about 160 new teachers last Friday, and the rest of our staff will return this Thursday. They'll be in an all-day meeting on Friday, getting lots of updates around curriculum and assessments and instructional interventions in preparation for the school year. I'd also like to recognize our early college academy, which opens this year. It's our inaugural year for District 6. We will have about 160 9th and 10th graders who join Early College Academy with our partnership at Ames Community College. We have the ribbon cutting for that this week on Wednesday afternoon. It's very exciting to have the opportunity to provide programming where high school seniors will leave with an Associates of Arts degree from Ames Community College. It's very exciting and to be honored and recognized here in District 6. Tomorrow we're honoring over 80 interns, high school juniors and seniors, who served in an internship this summer, a paid internship. We'll also be honoring the supervisors and the sponsors for those interns. Numerous businesses and industry partners contributed to the internships this summer, and we certainly couldn't have had these opportunities for our students without the support of our business and our community, and certainly the city of Greeley, who helped facilitate our internships. And then finally, I want to recognize, if I may, President DeWitt, the school kickoff event we just held this past Saturday. We had over 2,200 backpacks with school supplies that we passed out to students in District 6. And you know, it's our goal to ensure that every student comes ready to learn, and part of that is making sure that our students have their supplies. So to see all of those students and the staff and community volunteers, the businesses and community members who were sponsors to make this event possible, it was truly a remarkable day. Over 6,000 people were a part of the event. event. And you know, we did this with only volunteers from District 6. We didn't use any District 6 dollars to pull this off. Community members and sponsors allowed us to do this. And we served everybody lunch who was there. It was a remarkable day, and I want to thank many of you who were there, and again, our community sponsors and our business leaders who made that event possible for our students as they return to school here in just a couple weeks.
Thank you very much. We have a lot to be thankful for in the district, and those things you've mentioned are certainly part of that. I don't know that we have anyone who is present to speak before the board at this time.
We do not.
Moving on to the work session report, please, Ms. Bria.
Board of Education President Roger DeWitt began the work session with open comments from board members, a review of the calendar and upcoming events, and future agenda items. Superintendent Dr. Deirdre Pilch discussed the draft agenda for the board's August 27th all-day work session. Chief Academic Officer Dr. Stacy Dattery and Director of Curriculum Diana Riley presented the 2015-16 district curriculum. Dr. Dattery discussed the district initiatives, vertical teaming, and assessments. Curriculum guide examples for elementary literacy, middle school math, and high school science were reviewed. Board members had time for questions and discussion, and that concluded the work session.
Thank you. Next item is the approval of the agenda. This is an action item, and I'll accept a motion at this time.
I move that the Board of Education of Weld County School District 6 approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there discussion, question? Roll call, Ms. Brand?
Mr. DeWitt?
Aye.
Mr. Hafele?
Aye.
Mr. Hall?
Aye.
Dr. Richard?
Aye.
Mr. Richardson?
Aye.
Mrs. Solis?
Aye.
And the motion carries 6-0.
Thank you. Next item is the approval of the consent agenda. That's an action item also, and you'll find that motion on page 6, number 6. I'd be glad to hear that motion at this time.
I move that the Board of Education of Weld County School District 6 approve items as presented on the consent agenda and authorize the officers to sign any and all contracts.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions, discussion? Roll call, Ms. Brand.
Mr. DeWitt?
Aye.
Mr. Hafele?
Aye.
Mr. Hall?
Aye.
Dr. Richard?
Aye.
Mr. Richardson?
Aye.
Mrs. Solis?
Aye.
And the motion carries 6-0.
Thank you. The next item is kind of a special tribute that I'm going to turn over to Dr. Pilch at this time. It's a reference to the Success Foundation, our Success Foundation. Dr. Pilch.
Thank you, President DeWitt. I'm honored to have the opportunity to recognize our Success Foundation this evening, and I'd like to invite President of the Success Foundation, Bill Kurtz, to come up, if he would please, and join us up here. You gonna go put him? Okay. Great. So, Mr. Kurtz, we want to recognize the Success Foundation for all that you have done for District 6. We understand that it is your mission to provide support to District 6 students to enhance instruction and learning for those students through a grant process. And over the past 5 years, the Success Foundation has generously given hundreds of thousands of dollars to benefit our students. And we especially appreciate the focus that you have had on technology and getting more devices into students' hands and supporting our blended learning initiative. This year, the Success Foundation will donate nearly $10,000 to each of our middle schools and our K-8 schools for devices to support blended learning. That's truly remarkable. We want to thank you for that. I also know that you have a big event coming up, and so we'd like to give you an opportunity if you would like to talk about the bike race and share a little bit about that event.
Sure. It's really our pleasure to be able to provide the funds that we've provided over the last 5 years to the school district, and probably more importantly, engage the community around the education process. And I've seen more engagement around that for the school district than really ever before. So we have on October 3rd, we have our Ride for Success, which is, it's not a race, it's a community ride. So we have 3 different rides, bicycle rides. We have a family ride, which will be about 10 miles, a 25-mile ride, and a 50-mile. So we should be able to fit those more riders that are more experienced, along with families that want to participate, which hopefully the schools will be. One will raise a fair amount of money this year. This will be the second year of it, and we have a goal of about $50,000 to be able to put back into this school district. But it's also a really event to engage the community around who we are and what we're trying to accomplish. So it's on October 3rd. You can go to Ride for Success, and that's with the number 4.com or .org, or you can go to the Success Foundation webpage and get a link to it, and that will take you to a registration link to be able to register. It's in conjunction with the Downtown Development Authority's Oktoberfest. So for those that are a little older, they can enjoy a libation after their hard work and ride on October 3rd.
Do families and other participants have to register in advance, or may they register that morning?
They can register that morning. We would really like them to register beforehand so we can kind of be prepared for what they are. And the family ride should be a lot of fun. It's a 10-mile ride. We have kind of some exit points that if they don't want to ride that far, they can ride less than that. So really it's trying to engage that community and having a great community event.
Well, we certainly appreciate all that the Success Foundation has done for District 6, and I look forward to the partnership and the building that we will do as I work with you as Superintendent of Schools. So thank you so much, Bill. It's just remarkable work that's going on.
Thank you. Are you riding the 25 or the 50?
So I'm trying to get up to the 25 mile, but I'm going to get my team out. We should all be able to do the family ride, right?
Yeah, everybody could do the family ride, so thank you.
Well,
Grace.
my husband and I have been out riding to get ready.
Good. Thank you.
I do want to hand you this recognition, and it begins with sincere appreciation, but without having to say any more, it's obvious that you're with the district at every step, and we benefit from every action and thought that you engage in for our students. So once again, thank you very much, and please accept this as a little token of the work that you've been doing for us.
We will display it proudly, and I appreciate your comment of our Success Foundation.
Absolutely.
So,
thanks an awful lot.
Thank you so much for being here tonight, Bill.
The next item is the adoption of the 2015-16 district curriculum. And Dr. Pilch, would you like to introduce this topic?
Certainly. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, and Dr. Dattery is coming to the podium to lead this presentation. But as you all know, we brought together a team of over 250 teachers, administrators, and other staff to engage in a vertical teaming process for a revision and editing of our curriculum and assessment programs here in the district. And that work was done right after schools got let out for the summer. And those staff came in and they've done tremendous work in preparation for the curriculum that staff will be working from this year. I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Dattery now to share with you a little bit of those details and take it from here.
And let me intrude, since this is an action item, my line here would be, I'd be glad to accept a motion at this time.
Oh, very good.
I move that the Board of Education of Weld County School District 6 approve the adoption of the 2015-16 district curriculum as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Thank you. Dr. Dattery, please.
Well, thank you, President DeWitt, Superintendent Pilch, and members of the school board. It is my pleasure to be able to bring to you this evening the work of our vertical teams from this past summer. These guides have undergone curriculum review, as we've shared with you, and several revisions so that they are in alignment with both the Colorado academic standards as well as the Colorado measures of academic success. These collaborative efforts will continue to support our teachers in their instruction to facilitate student learning toward mastery of those standards. I am very pleased to be able to share these guides with you for your review and action as they do facilitate student learning. Joining me this evening, and as she joined us in our work session, is also Ms. Diana Riley. She is our Director of Curriculum and Instruction, and she really organized and supported the development of these documents that I will present to you this evening. So as I begin, I just want to share with you briefly the state statute that guides this work from a legislative standpoint in Colorado Revised Statute 22-7-407, in that districts are responsible for creating such curriculum for teachers to follow and students for learning, and that Board of Education is, further it states around the duties of the Board of Education in this work. And as such, we have then board policy that helps to support the work that we're doing, and that ensures through policy that our curriculum is in alignment with our district standards that have been adopted, and that it would be presented to you for your consideration and action. And so tonight, we bring that to you, and I want to be able to share with you just briefly, shared a little bit over work session, but just want to be able to share with you very briefly the development process that guided the revision and the creation of the documents. And so as I've shared with you already, these standards are what we start with. And it was very clear for our vertical teams this summer that they not only needed to start with those standards, but they needed to really look at prioritizing what was most essential for students to master at the end of each unit, and as such at the end of a grade level. It is then translated, and it was the work of vertical teams to translate that into the written curriculum and to make sure that it was organized and included aligned assessments so that the instruction would be guaranteed and viable throughout the system. And they took that responsibility very seriously, and they did an amazing job. And it's really with the textbook supports, the instructional materials, and other resources that support the work, and they wrote that in and so that teachers would be able to navigate all of those different resources in alignment with the written curriculum and to support mastery of those standards. So it kind of works down and right back up, if you will.